local banks and local credit unions and ask to talk to the non-performing asset manager and simply try to create a relationship with them. Here's why it's so important. Banks, non-performing asset departments. Okay, the bank's non-performing asset department, that's after they go to foreclosure. It's delinquent loans at the bank level. Okay, so non-performing asset means they have an asset, which is the loan instrument that they lent money to somebody and they're not making their payments. Somebody at the bank is in charge of trying to collect on all those payments. So at the bank level, it's called the non-performing asset department. Here's what I need you to do. So here's what I need everybody to do. I want you to find a day 2 weeks from now or 3 weeks from now. You might even just throw it as a place marker on your phone, on your calendar right now. For 2 weeks from now, 2 Thursdays from now, just so that the thinking part's removed. Just throw it on your calendar for 2 weeks from now. I don't care if you move it a day over or something like that, but I want you to block out an hour. And I want you to go to Google and type in local banks in Boston and just insert your city name, local banks and credit unions in Boston, and hit search. You'll have 15, 20 that you'll see in front of you. All I want you to do is click on each one, get the phone number, and then I want you to call and introduce yourself to the bank. You're going to call the bank and say, hey, I'd like to speak to whoever is in charge of your non-performing assets. They may send you to their voicemail. They may give you their email so that you can reach out to them. All you're trying to do is just make contact with them. And here's what I want you to do. All right, I'm going to start with, remember I said when we get into some more intricate things, I'll paint the problem, then let's solve it, because then it teaches you better. Let's start with the problem. If any investor is even smart enough to talk to the non-performing asset manager at a bank, most of them do this. That's the problem. And then let's do it differently than everybody else. They'll call and say, hey, look, I know you're in charge of some of the bad apples that aren't making payments. I'd like to talk to you about maybe purchasing some of those and getting those off your books for you to help you out. They've heard that before, folks. Okay. So they've heard that from a lot of other investors. All they hear when you say that, remember, I've been a banker for 27 years. While you're talking, here's what they actually hear. Hey, you know what? I'm trying to get some deals for myself, and you can keep all the shitty ones that I don't want. Just, I want to cherry pick the ones that I want. Can we work together? That's what they heard, right? Oh yeah. Tell me more, Alex, about, right? So we need to be different. Okay. Remember I said, pick what you want to be known for. So what I want you to do is do the same thing, but with a different variation of it, which is, hey, Miles. So I just wanted to introduce myself to you. So I know you're in charge of the non-performing assets and all the people that aren't making their payments. I just wanted to introduce myself, Jason Palliser with Allied Property Group. I would love to work with you ongoing, meaning this, anything you need that'll make your life easier, I want to make our company available to you. So if you have new assets that pop up and you're like, oh, here's another one, and what shape is it in? We're out in the marketplace every day. I will literally go by same day or next morning on any address that you want a clear update on. I'll take pictures, do whatever you need to help you out so you know what you're dealing with. All the way down to taking care of a property, cutting the grass, anything that you would need if the homeowner's just going to let it go or whatever. And I would like to save those assets before you guys spend money by going to the pre-foreclosure step, which I know skyrockets the cost. So what that means to me, working with you, would be anything you need, pictures, cutting the grass, seeing where it's at, anyone that you want to unload. I would love an opportunity to take a look at it. And beyond just myself and my company, I have about 400 other investors who are very active in the marketplace. So almost any asset in any zip code, I probably know somebody that wants it. And I'd love to create this working relationship with you and relieve some of that pressure. You see how I said the same thing, but I said it a little bit differently? I'm like, I just want to make myself available to you. Okay. So I want you to simply block out an hour. And here's why this is important. And I hope you feel this when I say this. And think about this. In your professional freaking career as a real estate investor, I'm asking you to simply because it's smart to do, donate 1 hour of your time to calling banks, local banks and local credit unions, not the big banks, local banks and local credit unions, and ask to talk to the non-performing asset manager and simply try to create a relationship with them. Here's why it's so important. If you just set up 1 or 2, I had 2 for several years in St. Louis. I had 2 of them. Both of those people moved on. One stopped working at the bank, another one went to a different position. So I lost the relationship, but I had them for years. If they start sending you their bad apples, the people in your town that aren't making their payments, you don't have competition. No one knows that lead exists. The house may look perfect, so it's not a driving for dollars lead. You can't tell from the naked eye. They're not in pre-foreclosure, so you can't send a pre-foreclosure letter and get a pre-foreclosure list. It's the lead that you might be the only one that even knows if there's any sort of distress.